when director Marcus Ellison's car sputtered to a halt just past the faded sign for the Cats. Dusk had already swallowed the narrow road. Trees loomed like silent sentinels, and the last signal bars on his phone died away. Out of gas, lost, and alone, Marcus saw only one refuge, a small, oddly well-preserved farmhouse off a gravel path, glowing warmly in the growing dark. The old couple who answered the door introduced themselves as Edward and Lillian Haraway, polite and disturbingly delighted by the unexpected visitor. "You're just in time for supper," Lillian said, her smile frozen in a way that made young Marcus uneasy. Inside, everything was spotless. No dust, no personal photographs. A fire crackled too perfectly in the hearth. The food was laid out, but neither Edward nor Lillian touched it. They watched him eat, eyes shining too brightly. "You're just in time for supper," Lillian said, her smile frozen in a way that made young Marcus uneasy. Marcus tried to make small talk. "Do you have children?" The room fell silent. Lillian looked at Edward. Edward's grin widened unsettlingly. "No," old Edward said flatly. "Not anymore." Marcus laughed awkwardly. "Sorry, I didn't mean to pry." "You're not prying," Lillian said softly. "It's just, most people don't ask that question. They don't stay long enough." He excused himself, pretending to use the bathroom. Upstairs, he found rooms. One door was locked. Another opened to a nursery immaculate, untouched, filled with porcelain dolls. In the crib sat a stuffed rabbit with one eye missing. Marcus felt suddenly cold. It didn't look like anyone had lived there in years. He returned downstairs to find Edward standing in front of the door. "Your car won't start," Edward said, though Marcus hadn't mentioned trying. "I didn't. How do you know?" "Best you stay the night. Roads can be confusing out here after dark." Marcus barely slept in the guest room, the ticking of an unseen clock echoing through the walls. Around 3 a.m., he heard whispering. Lillian's voice, soft and crooning like a lullaby, followed by Edward's deeper tone, muttering something angry. He crept down the stairs. In the living room, the old couple sat in front of the empty fireplace, facing nothing, rocking gently, as though watching something only they could see. "We'll never be alone again," Lillian whispered. Edward replied, "He's perfect. He won't ask questions like the others." Marcus backed away, but the stairs creaked. Two heads snapped around in unison. By morning, young Marcus's car was miraculously working. Full tank, no sign anyone had touched it. He drove until he hit cell signal again, and didn't stop until he crossed into New Jersey. When he looked back at the map, the Catskills were still there, but the farmhouse road got no sign of it on satellite, and the footage he shot every clip of the house had turned to static. In the last recording, before the feed cut, he heard it clearly, a child's laughter in the background.